soon as we are live on the YouTubes, then let's see how we are doing. We are now live on a YouTube, so welcome everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I am back for the second time today, and as you can see in front of me, this is not Reaper. This is not what I'm generally known for in front of the camera. This is what I use a lot behind the camera. But today I've got about an hour now to do a bit of a live stream. So we're going to redo the intro video. So this might just be the last time that you guys see the intro video as it stands from 2018. It's well due an update. So let's run the intro. Fantastic. So I've done a bit of digging throughout my old hard drives and found this, which is useful because this is the project as it stood in 2018, which means that I can show you all what I was doing. Looks like I need that much space. And so firstly, I think I'm going to talk quickly about how I made this and some of the features that Premiere has now that make it much more useful for me using Premiere specifically than if I was doing this in any other video editing software. And let's start at the start. So this, if I turn off a load of these layers, the first thing about this is just, I imported a 15-second version of the theme song earlier today. We were re-amping all the guitars on the theme song, so that's going to have a completely different mix by the time we get to this. And so this is just a load of little clips that last one beat. So these are just clips from different videos from that time period, which I'm going to go through and spend most of the time today looking for different interesting looking clips to replace that with. So let's do it. This was... So it was... So that was just a set of clips, mostly. Then, on top of that, I had a colour matte, which if I turn off the Venetian blinds effect, was literally just white, but set to a very, very low opacity. So I could really, really kind of kill that and then use the Venetian blinds to turn it into a definite kind of shuttered effect. What I might do this time round is use kind of thicker Venetian blinds and maybe use, more like that to give it a definite scan line effect by having thicker but more separate scan lines. And then 20% is still too much, so let's make it 10. It's just it's a textural thing. I just happen to like it. These on multiply, that doesn't do what I wanted it to do. If I use it as a kind of a lightening mode, that there we go. So on normal mode, it's far more in your face, and on lighten mode, it lets more of the original through, which I think this time, in hindsight, is what I'm going to do. If I put this on full resolution and zoom right in, because this is all in 4K, you'll see now that it's very, very specific there. So, if I fit that, there we go. there's old footage that I mean was really nice, like that little shot that I got of the top of the Roland Blues Cube. Quite a nice kind of thing, but I think that's just it's all just outdated at this point. There's a shot of me in the live room. A lot of this is good footage. Like there's the very funny. I'm gonna just mute the audio for a minute because it's really annoying having that beep 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 all the time. But that's gonna. There we go. Stab play. Some of these videos were not, in hindsight, my favorite videos. The orange head demo that I did there could have been a lot better, but again, hindsight is a great thing. And if anybody is interested in all this in chat, do feel free to drop a message there. There's 6 people watching, that's more than none. But yeah, I'm going to turn off this Venetian blinds effect for a minute. And the next thing that made this so much easier was these 2 layers here, which you can see I've gone up, down, up, down, up, down. And those up, down, up, downs are these graphics. And the graphics are using Premiere's essential graphics. So I can put anything in there, like... and just change it to fit, and because it's essential graphics I can just change that to anything at any point. I mean, this has still got footage in from when I lived in a place 2 houses ago, so this all just needs to go really. I think what I'm gonna do at this point is look on these hard drives, because I've got loads of hard drives of footage. So this is a bit of a chill out stream where I'm just going to be looking through all my old footage. So I've got stuff from a 12-hour stream there. Talking about new laptops. Ooh, the Gullfoss footage might be good. Let's just make a new bin. Call it 2020 footage. Because what we need to do, and it's a little bit around the houses, but what you've got to do is drop in the whole file for anything that you want to use. And that one will do. That one's probably nice. I did like the Black Ops video. These are the ones that I've got on my local drive, so I'm going to drop them in. But then I might have to go hard drive diving for stuff over the last couple of years. Good afternoon, Marty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, the question really for me will be what to open with, because I don't want to use this old drum footage anymore. As much as I do like playing drums, it's not what I'm really known for. So, the new laptop thing is... Is there anything in there? Ooh, Nam footage. That's not a bad shout, actually. Yeah, the Nam video. That's... and I definitely want to include... Oh, looking for footage. Yeah. Thing for me is I've done over 500 videos at this point, so looking through footage for bits that I like is just... Nam. Let's see if there's exports of Nam in here. Nam nam nam. Nam 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 nam. God damn it, Henning. Who have I got that I was really happy with as an interview? Maybe Howard Benson, actually. Hello, hello everybody in chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Henning's alright. It's just today's going to be a case of searching through footage and a lot and going, nope, 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 yes. Nope, 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 nope. Nam Song 2020. That's another video that needs finishing. That's something that I might depending on time schedule, do as the stream tomorrow. 2019 studio tour. That's the raw footage and not the export. Africa. Let's look at. Did I drag in? Yeah, I dragged in Africa. So there. So what I can do in Premiere is if I go I and O with the keyboard. If you've seen the video where I played lots and lots of 7-string bass in Africa, that's it. But what I can do is this little icon here where I can drag in just video. Oh, that's way longer than I thought it would be. And that can go on one of these and just completely replace. There we go. One of those videos. And for now, I'm just going to leave them static. But you can actually see where I've pushed in a little bit over time on all this footage. You can see as I scrub back and forwards, things zoom in. Let's throw it up. There must be a shot somewhere. Yeah, there we go. I'm going too fast. There. So I can just hit JK and L. Now I sound like Henning. Vlog item entering the building. Yes, I had that in mind, Marty.
It's got a much flatter.
There we go. So I and O for in and out mean that I can put this right there. And it doesn't matter right now if they're a bit dark or a bit light or anything like that. I can correct them at the time. So something a bit more new than that was the Reaper basics. Ah, yes. So if I dive into my Dropbox, I have all the Reaper course, the new Reaper course. Let's have a look. See if one of these. No. Perfect. So I'm going to drop that in here as well. Where did you go? My lovely. Wrong folder. Where do you go? I want to know. There we go. So that's the first few seconds of the Reaper course. So I'm just going to drop. Oh, gee whiz. That's way more than I need. That's 4 seconds, and I need roughly 1. So that. Oh, let's just see if there's a. No, I might actually want the Reaper 101 from the one that's on YouTube. Why is the U smell on the screen? Oh yeah, so I think you just tuned in just after that. Premiere's essential graphics means that you can change things on the fly. So you don't need to render graphics out. Which is really good for stuff like this because I can chop and change it as I wish. That's really, really, really useful because that way I have this ability to change anything I like without having to render this, render that, export this, bounce that. So what I want to do is... Yes, save this and start digging on hard drives. Ooh, low-level exceptions. We might be about to hit the crash count. Yeah, there it is. I did manage to hit save just before the crash count. So that's not a problem. Yeah, so you should be able to hear Premiere when we bring that back up. I'm using voice meter with Premiere so you can hear it. And so I've got a hard drive plugged in down here. Let me think what's on that. Because I've got a lot of stuff here, and there we go. HPS title screen 2020. That should be, there we go, absolutely fine. Let's put it on the wrong screen, but that's fine. I can just move it back over there. There we go. Job done. Yes, voice meter is great. So I've got an uploads folder on one hard drive. I've got another many hard drives if I view these by details and then arrange them by date. That will absolutely have a panic for a minute. Reaper Basics. .mp4, perfect. So, Reaper Basics. What? Why is that there? I mean, that's exactly the video I'm looking for, but Rev G4 maybe. Mastering with Ozone. Oh, it's 20 gigabytes. Wow. Reaper 101 update 1. Yes, so I'm going to copy these two. Oh, excuse me, I'm nearly... Have I tried DaVinci Resolve? Yes. It's not for me. It's not bad. The grading is very powerful, but I have such an integrated workflow with Premiere. I use Photoshop. I can load Photoshop files in. I use After Effects. I can load Photoshop files into After Effects, manipulate an After Effects project, drop that in Premiere live with editable fields. For the way I work, that saves me a lot of everything. Sure, I'm going absolutely insane here. I can smell burning in here again. Hope it's not that hard drive. Might be a neighbour. Because I'm looking, all my amps are off, so it's not them. The Captor X and everything is actually unplugged, so it's not them either. A laptop's not going to catch fire, it'll just get warm and turn off. One particular time I did have a slight burning smell in here and realised that a cable had managed to get into the safety grill on the 5150 and was touching a power valve and was getting very warm. But yeah, I'm copying these two over locally. So this laptop is an Asus. It's a TUF, TUF gaming. I think it's about a year old now, maybe a little more than that. I got it second hand because it cost me a lot less than getting a new one. I don't know what they are new. I think it's about £1,600 or euros. I paid $650 for it because it was a year old. It has a 1060 mobile in it, which is more than powerful enough for Premiere, actually. Doesn't sound like it should be enough, but for video editing, there's only so much that gets passed off to the GPU. And unless you're doing some really insane stuff in 4K, which is where it does start to come into its own, there are diminishing returns. If I got 1070 in here, it wouldn't actually go any faster in Premiere because there would be no extra work to send to the graphics card. It's the law of diminishing returns as well. Like, this is a 6-core processor in this thing. If I was playing back a mix and it was playing back perfectly well, if I then went to a 32-core machine, it wouldn't play any better because it was already fine. It's that kind of thing where the CPU is still, relatively speaking, the bottleneck. What's more important for DAWs, core count or frequency? Core count by a long way, especially with Reaper, because if your DAW is programmed properly, then let's say you've got a mix and it's got 60 channels in that mix. Those channels can be spread across any number of cores if your DAW is programmed that way. It does then rely on the fastest single core to bring them all together and maybe do any master bus processing. But it's... oh, that's a good point. I need to update the crash count. There we go. There we go. Yeah, if you've got a single core or dual core machine that runs really fast, or you've got 8 cores that aren't as fast, the 8 core is going to win in a DAW context. If you've got a song that's got 2 tracks in it and they've got like 20 effects on each, then an 8 core machine isn't going to help you because it can't spread that load. But if you've got 100 tracks and they've all got maybe 2 or 3 relatively moderate processes on each one, then yeah, multi-core will win. Right, so those have been copied into my D drive and they now need to be dropped into Premiere. So, Reaper 101 update was what I called it. There we go. Oh, you're getting a new laptop. Right. I definitely have been really liking this Asus. It's a 17-inch model. I like bigger laptops. Always have done. I get more screen real estate. I generally get more keys that aren't compacted in. And there's also generally more room for more I/O and more processing and more cooling as well. You need what you need. Honestly, though, like a 2060, if you get a laptop with a 2060 graphics-wise, that's going to smoke anything. Not make smoke. Yes. My old laptop that died, I kind of miss it, but it was twice as thick as this thing. And that was an old Haswell quad-core. So, yeah, just waiting at the moment for this to churn through both of these files and make peak files. You were thinking between a Ryzen 7 2700 and a 3600. Go for the 3600, definitely. Yeah, 1060 will be absolutely fine. I mean, unless you are plugging in like a 4K screen to your laptop and then trying to game at 4K resolution on that, anything beyond a 1060 isn't going to see you much benefit, really. Although newer laptops will not have that in because newer laptops that are sold are on the next generation, so 2060 is what you're going to get. If you're going NVIDIA, it's 2060. I don't believe there's a lower one than that, so it's 2060 or nothing, really. It becomes iGPU. And so it's a little bit silly, but okay, hopefully, if I hit I and just play for a second.
Audio workstation. Basically, how to get sound coming through.
There we go. Let's get this right to the start.
Hi, everybody.
There.
Adam Steele from Hop.
That's probably a little too long, so I'm just going to zoom in. What I really want... Yeah, that's about as close as I'm going to get, really, strictly speaking, to not having a fade in at the start. You know what? No, that is just about perfect. So that's... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because that's me in the studio. That's a good intro. There we go. That can go. That can go. In fact, everything on this bottom line. I'm going to leave the old footage in for a minute. Extinct Audio Black Ops. Oh, that was a dark video. Must have some foot. Oh, what happened there? Oh, completely different lighting on a different day. Bizarre. Hello, John Lemaire. Monsieur Lemaire. You've never heard that one before. Nobody has ever taken the mick out of me for my name. Oh, wait. Okay. Right, so that's got a graphic on, so I can't really use that one. I've used that. I've not used Gullfoss, so that's a very obvious.
Cool.
There we go. I know a lot of people didn't like the singer's voice on that one. Meh. Not right bothered, to tell you the truth. Because it's all personal preference, and I just happen to be working with a client. And then that's not big enough because it's not 4K, so I'm going to scale it to frame size, and that just makes it, poof, suddenly big enough. So that's 4K, 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 yo. Yeah, I'm going to use...
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
Have I ever tried DaVinci Resolve? I've already been asked that today, so yes, I've tried it. No, I don't use it. I did a whole diatribe about that, so yeah, I have to rewind a little bit for that one. Sorry, John. It's not bad. It doesn't do what I need it to do right now. Right, so I need... Maybe I'll put this right there. There we go, because that can still be me. Yeah, that's more like it, because that's framed really nicely. Okay. So I'm still compiling a shot list in a way, really. Mastering with Ozone. Let's have a look at you. Phone's going mental. Nothing important. Good. Well, yeah, the best editor's the one you know best, within reason. Once you get to, like, because I've been using Premiere now for about 12 years. I've used Resolve quite a bit. The grading in Resolve is incredible. The color, the parallel nodes, serial nodes, all that kind of stuff. But a lot of what I work on, especially on my own channel, I don't need that. I need things like these graphics that I can change at will. I need to be able to drop things in at a moment's notice. I need all the really nice audio features, which a lot of people don't use in Premiere. Like, you know, you can resize your camera the shape you want in OBS. Yes. That was done in OBS, I think. I just don't, because there's just no need. There we go. Do I never stop? Nope. Never ever. Well, I've got all this stuff to do and limited time every day. If I do this on stream, it's kind of like a kick up the backside. I'm much more likely to do it. Right, so this video's actually that long. Right, wow, this video is longer than I remember. That looked like quite a cool little bit. What's this?
Sono. What I would usually plug straight into speaker monitors.
That looks like a nice little hand wavy thing, which a lot of people moan when they watch my stuff. That, oh, you move your hands too much, and I'm like, well, yeah. That's kind of one of the things that I do, and if you really, really, really don't like it, maybe now if you know in the intro video. There we go. Yeah, the Reaper 101 video has been incredibly popular, which is why I do want to definitely include that in the new intro, because that intro hasn't been changed since that was filmed. Uko 2K, hello. No, I've not had time to. I've not had time to work with the Spitfire audio stuff yet. If anyone else has. The difference between the $60 and more expensive version of Reaper is licensing. Nothing more, nothing less. If you are a company that makes a lot of money, then you need to buy the full version of Reaper. The $60 version is what's called a discounted license. So if you're just a person using it at home or you're not using it for a business that makes a lot of money, that's the licensing agreement you have. At some point soon, I'm probably going to have to get the full license because I'm using this and essentially making a business out of it. So, yeah. Can't wait to pay the full Reaper price. Well, I've been using Reaper for about a decade now, and up to this point, I've not really needed to. But the option is there so that if there's any big institution that decides that they're going to use Reaper in a classroom or whatever, and they've got, that government funding kind of money, that's there for those kind of use cases. And so, do I make my own Reaper scripts? No, I don't. I know a lot of people who do. I focus more on the actual mixing. So I don't do things like making themes, and I don't really customize it. People think I'm weird, but I almost use Reaper exactly stock. Like, I think I've put about 3, maybe 4 keyboard shortcuts in that weren't there by default, but that's about it. Yeah, 10 years roughly with Reaper. The 12-hour stream that we did a couple of weeks ago was remixing an album that we recorded at the start of 2011. And I know I'd been using it for at least a year before that, because I got Reaper 3 when it was new. Reaper was always good. It's just evolved and added new features and more and more technology. Video editing wasn't there originally, and it is now. Regions weren't there. Spectral peaks that I use a lot wasn't there. A lot of this stuff has just evolved over time, like any software does. How many instances of Reaper can you have on different computers paying once? As many as you want, provided you are using one at once. One license licenses you to be using Reaper on one computer at once. I mean, technically, it's not going to stop you if you use it on more than one computer, but that's, like, I've got one Reaper license, but when I'm using it at home, I'm using it at home, and then when I go to the studio, I'm obviously using the studio computer and not my home computer. So for me, that it makes logical sense. So, yeah. Okay. I'm getting sidetracked. So I've got, that's old. So that needs to be replaced with something. Let's have another look in this uploads folder on this drive and see how far back these go. So those are some of the last videos, it looks like, that this particular... Hello to David Jelmer in chat. This will be a good one. I'm planning on talking a lot more in the future about, I'm going to copy and paste this over, about computer building again in relation to watching me on the phone and the SpaceX launch on TV. Can't blame you. I would. Hopefully they don't scrub that mission. Hopefully that goes really well. There we go. So I'm dropping in that PC builds that I did. 'Cause that was the last video I think I did on it. Was the Ryzen 2700 and that kind of era. So let's. That's the strange sound of scrubbing in. So on I for in, O for out, and then drop this in. Oh, that's longer than I thought. That's what she said. What? Who said that? Honestly, the nerve. So let's drop this in, make it much shorter. And get rid of that one now and see about putting this in. Righty clicky and scale it to frame size. And that's right over my face. So that's an old one. I mean, it still looks good. That one I think I actually filmed in the studio, but I used a massive green screen behind me. I don't know why. I just felt like using a green screen that day. I think it's partly because the studio was a mess. There we go. Might have been Thursday. So I've got 3 that I need to find. So did I end up using... Yeah, I used Africa, I used Gulfos. New laptop, I don't think I ended up using that one in the end. Let's see what I've got. I did do part 2 of the Raspberry Pi video. And that was fairly recently. Basically, it was a video saying, here's why I'm not going to use a Raspberry Pi. Here are the limitations I've come up against. It was an 1.5 hour long interview with a very nice lad called James. Right, at this point, I'm going to unplug this hard drive and plug in a different hard drive. I've got a stack of hard drives behind me. NAM, yes. There goes a 4 terabyte drive. I'm gonna hit offline all on them. There we go. So away goes that drive. In comes a more recent 8 terabyte hard drive. This one I took to NAM with me to back up all the footage, and I didn't. In the end, it turns out I definitely didn't need an 8 terabyte hard drive, but it's good to have because it means that as we go on, I've got somewhere to back up all the footage. You should always back up everything in double and triple if you can, because if you've got 2 copies or more of footage and one dies, you've still got that footage. So let's wait a minute for that. There we go. So the Reaper course is on here, which is fine. This has got an uploads folder. Maybe one of the code drums. Yeah, Raspberry Pi interview right there is the top file. Code. Maybe I could use the code interview that's all about drums, which has a little clip of me playing drums somewhere, where I'm wildly out of focus, and never mind. There's a little bit of me. But it's got graphics all over it. Doesn't help that I can't really play it. Do I save all the unused footage after I've finished the video? Yes. Generally speaking, 3 or 4 years down the line, I will go through old projects and either just delete the old footage at that point or reformat it to a smaller footage thing. Snare video that I did? Oh, the wood snare versus metal one, maybe. No, No, it looks far too much like the old drum footage. I might just not do that. That's fine. Extinct Black Ops. It's funny, I've not I've not really made enough videos this year that have been properly produced videos, so it's one of those funny things. New lights. Watching that on the wrong screen. Ozone 9, what's new? That's just got some cutaways of kick drum pedals. Would I recommend doing music on Linux? Not really. Depends what you want to do with it. If you're perfectly happy using something like Reaper and using just the entire inbuilt plugins that come with it, yes, absolutely. But I personally rely on third-party plugins right now that are only compiled for macOS and Windows, and they don't release the source code, so I can't just compile my own in the Linux VST format. Audient Nero. Maybe the Nero monitor controller. Yeah, footage of recording a band in the live room. Yeah, but I can't really use that because that's footage of people whose permission I would probably need to do that, and they would then be in everything. Old tubes versus new tubes. How's that look? Ooh. Yeah, this has got a nice cutaway. Yeah, bingo. That is, especially the sped up thing. Oh, I love that. That is going in. Copy. Paste. Because that does a thing. It tells a little story very quickly. And that's the kind of footage that you really want in an intro video, because you want it to go pop, pop, pow, 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 where you don't have time to explain what it is. You don't have time to go like, well, this is from this, and this is what happened. It's like, no, you've got a second, maximum, go. So like, it's funny that even though where was it? It was around here somewhere. There. Bingo.
To use a radial reamp box.
Yeah, shut up, you. Nobody likes you anyway. YouTube Hollywood. Well, I might switch that one out still because I'm not particularly happy with that. But there we go. Mixing and mastering can be replaced with that. There we go. Gonna have to change a lot of these graphics around, but that's fine. So I need one for the intro, one for there, and then maybe replace that with something else. So we're doing all right. Is what's cooling better for a silent computer? Oh, we've crashed again. Oh, what? Is what's cooling better for a silent computer? No. Pumps are noisy. Right, how far back did this save? That's going to be a pain. How often have I been spamming the save button is the real question. View by details. Let's open Premiere again. Premiere's not usually this crashy. The perceived wisdom is that water cooling makes processors cooler, therefore it must be quieter, but that's not the case at all. What actually happens is that I can offline them. As How far did that get? Okay, don't care. Because water cooling involves moving water around constantly, it's gone back a bit, but that's fine. A lot of what we were doing was actually just looking for footage. Yeah, because it's moving water around, it needs a pump to do that, and the pump has to work all the time. And that pump sounds like this. If you've ever had a fish tank, you'll know what I mean. It's that. It sounds like you've got a fish tank in the corner. Now, for a gaming PC, that's a good idea because, you know, a gaming PC, you put your headphones on and you're not going to hear that, but you can absolutely overclock the hell out of it and it'll basically just go and not be too intrusive. But air coolers have come a long way in the last 20 years and they don't have these tiny little fans that sound like anymore. A lot of the best air coolers now are more efficient than liquid coolers. And this is something that's been proven many times by guys like Jay's 2 Cents. Check out his channel. And because Jay is not stupid. He plays an idiot a lot of the time, but he's not. So that after Gullfoss, was that the PC building one? The one that I wasn't particularly impressed with. What have we just copied into our uploads folder here? PC builds. Nam Adventure, actually, that's probably one that I want. Old tubes versus new tubes. Let's just drop these in, see how far we get. See what I'm missing. There we go. So the old tubes versus new tubes. I mean, we've not even started the really clever stuff yet, so. There. Zoom right in. That's 4 seconds. I need less than that. I need more like 2. More like 1. There we go. Save. Let's just change the name of this from 2018 lower layer to 2020 lower layer because there are 2 steps to doing this as an essential graphic because this is going to become an essential graphic the way that we're going to use it in Premiere, which means that I can drop that thing then, this entire intro, into another Premiere project, into another sequence from essentially nowhere, but from this tab that's behind chat that is essential graphics. You'll actually see that there's the transitions that I use and all the intro screens and Patreon stuff. That's all there, and all I have to do is drop them in. My current studio PC is an entirely silent PC build. And it's got one of those no fan 95Cs in the massive copper cooler. It's got a fanless power supply. It's got a 1050 Ti graphics card in that's entirely passive with a radiator on it. No fans anywhere. Would I ever go back to the Linux console PS2 studio idea? Well, it was fun, but I couldn't get a GUI reliably working on a PS2, so not really. I mean, it's not. Have I got time for it? That literally did not work. So if it doesn't work, I mean, what is there to go back to? If someone provides me with information about, hey, you can, do something else, then great. Right, Nam Adventure save. Let's cut through all this crap. Was there a... There must have been there was a really nice section somewhere when we were at NAMM where I just walked through the crowd. Andrew Sheps, everybody.
Faces. We've done some fantastic things. We actually went out with Celestine last night to...
Yeah, show off. Glenn! that was the first time I met Glenn in person. He already kind of knew who I was, but yeah, he didn't really. He'd seen a couple of videos of mine at that point, and I'd entered something in a competition for him. But now we're doing some real work together. Could I answer 2 questions? Yes, that was one. Carry on. It very much depends what the question is. No, that was a nice in point. Out point as well. Oh, whoa, that's way too much footage. Yeah, Glenn's where a lot of people heard about Reaper. Do NVIDIA GPUs still cause dropouts on DAWs? Not like they used to. And 2, do I edit any kind of instruments when mixing? Yeah, all of them. Of course I edit instruments. That's a very vague question, but yes. If it's not in time, it gets put in time. If it's got bits at the start and the end that have got like, they get cut. If it's too loud or too quiet, that's all part of mixing. So yeah, there are your 2 questions. That's still too long, probably. But this one might be good over there. Oh, so the grill cloth video can go. That can be scaled to frame size. It's probably not the best piece of footage there, but if I use the Y button, I can slip this footage. There we go, that might be better. That might be it might not even be the footage I was thinking of, actually. Because I'm sure there was another bit earlier on where my hair was down. Brr, Trey. Ah, so many people, so many things. That's the Thursday. Memory lane, it's almost half a year ago. That's the terrible laptop that I was using because mine died 2 days before. Trying to think, because I'm sure that... No, Glenn wasn't on my channel recently. I was on his, so it's not my footage. Damn. Yeah. That's enough of Nam, I think. What else do I have? I'm starting to lose brain. Let's open this PC builds thing again. Because chances are this year I'm going to be upgrading the... Oh, that's probably a nice little bit. I'll be upgrading the studio computer, and that we will make sure there is good footage of that, because we're definitely going to put more focus on PC building this year. So scale that to frame size 2. So there's that. All the text is currently wrong, but that's fine, because that can all just be changed. That's the Evo. And I just need 2 now. Save. All the save. Unknown error, my ass. Save. There we go. What else have I got? Well, actually, if things happen the way that they're probably going to happen, I'll still be with Intel, just because of something that's going to happen with a friend of ours is selling a very nice PC that he's just bought that's top of the range. But I'll probably be putting an AMD GPU in there. Code interview, blah, 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 blah. Kick drum dampening. That might have a cool little thing where I... No, the footage is shaky as anything. There. What was I thinking leaving all that in the edit? Blah. Silly Adam. Baseboard. Oh, right, yeah, because I had this insane... Yeah, that's a good shot right there, because that's just tons of gear. Copy that over. And that'll take a couple of minutes. Yeah, VLC is a very, very good player. Although I very, very rarely actually play audio on a PC these days, strangely enough. So, meh. You know. I tend to play audio off something like... I actually use an Xbox One in my front room as like the media server, but that's got an optical out going to my Sony amp, and I've got quad speakers, but because it's digital out, it doesn't matter what's playing it really. It's just convenient there. I might be going with a 9700K. There's absolutely no need for a 9900K because 16 threads doesn't make for more performance in audio than 8 threads because of the SMT hyperthreading thing being largely useless for real time. And I'll bet you anything like Reaper, if you really start to pin it, if you've got 8 cores and 16 threads, you'll watch the task manager and you'll see 8 cores going crazy in the other 8 cores, which aren't real cores, not really doing very much. Yeah, it's potentially not good for latency. Anyway, let's drop the baseboard in here and get that going. Hello, baby. That's me. Hi. It's the baby. Hello. Say something. Can you see any owls? Owl. Nope. She just wants my guitar picks for some reason. Oops. Ah. Blah, 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 blah. And she wants to destroy everything. That's not me. She's editing. She's doing the edit. Yep. Yeah. You tell me, Ivy. What are we doing? Hello. She's got my mouse. Holding it. Bright lights. Bring it. Ah, such a large baby. How is it? Right. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Different on that. Okay. So, back to normal. Where were we? Baseboard.
Took quite a while to put together.
That's probably the shot right there. Just the bass neck. There we go. Unless there is a...
Took quite a while to put together. You might be able to see it at the bottom on camera.
Yeah, talking about it rather than giving the bass neck. There we go. So that's less than a second of footage there. All these like 10 gig files. One day she will be a trainee. One day she will be the intern that does all my edits for me. And I will pay her in chocolate. Right, so I've got that. Literally just need an intro now. That one, I think. Yeah. So what have I got that's around that time period that doesn't go too far back? What did I do? Anything that can be really kind of visually like wow? Oh, the Rev G4 demo. Yes, that little shot right there. That one. Let's make sure this goes in the D uploads folder, because it's literally just bow bow. I always did like that song. I might revisit it at some point, because the Rev G4 is got some serious it's got some serious harmonic content going in it. Dream band lineup of YouTubers. No idea who I would pick. Oh, hello. Yeah. Yeah. I remember getting that bass tone. Because that bass tone was using the Rev G4 in parallel with the 2 notes la bass. There we go. So I can unmute this now and... Okay, let's use the slip tool again to bring this... That's where the bow happens, so I want to move these frames around so that the pick hits on that hit. Because this is also going to be underneath a kind of a Venetian wipe. So half of this shot is going to be gone anyway, so I'm not particularly worried. There we go. Is there anything me teaching Reaper in here? Save. Because that's supposed to be Gullfoss right there. I'm going to get rid of the Gullfoss one right there and put a specific bit of Reaper in there. Because there ain't any. And that's the other thing that I had in there before. That'll do. That'll do nicely because I can slip that underneath here and then get that in place. There we go. Brilliant. So, save. Oh. Do I have to save this as something else? Dropbox used to be really good at letting me just overwrite a project. Recently, it's just started having a fit about it. So, next thing, I'm just going to play this back. Right, so the next thing I need to do is push them all towards the camera to make them move, because currently they don't. If I put that over the top, that's... Bleh. I think I went a bit overboard with making this Venetian blind thing too thick, too damn thick. Yeah, there we go. Because at 100% in 4K, you'll see the lines. There we go. And it's in lighten mode. So I should be thoroughly enlightened. Now, all I have to do to push in on these is... I can get rid of the... that video, so that these are all now new clips, and every time I hit save, if it doesn't moan at me, which it is doing, that's fine. I can grab each one and automate the scale and just push in by, let's say 10%, by adding 2 points, and then move those points to the start and end of the clip and hit play and watch. So that pushed in then. And I just need to repeat that process. Let's just go 106 for these short ones, just because they're so short. I don't want to be going right in your face. So let's just add a couple of points. Doesn't matter where, as long as it goes small to big. And then move those to the outside. Repeat. And this is going to take me a couple of minutes. Yeah, honestly, dream band of YouTubers. I don't know. I don't know who I'd pick. In some ways, I'm one of those, like, you know, if you want something doing, do it yourself type people. Because a lot of the ideas that I have would probably not be the same as the ideas that they would have. But I've got a piece that's going to come out hopefully soon, which was from Nam, and Sam from Intervals played guitar on that, and it was really, really good. And I was just stood next to him because I'd given him basically the song structure, and he played it in a way that I never would have. And this is a really long one, so this gets the 110 treatment. And at the end of it, I was just like, that's cool. So now I've pushed in on them all. Let's press play. There we go. Bow. Not balls. It helps when you can spell. Bass tone. Yep, I'm gonna go with bass tone. Audio gear reviews. Change live performance to what would I call this? I'll come back to that one. Reaper tutorials. Guitar amp comparison. I'll straighten them out in a minute. Wow. Computer building. I'll stick with Adam Steele Presents. It doesn't matter that they don't fit right now either. That's something that I'll look at in a minute. I think I'm also going to switch Reaper tutorials, and I'm going to switch that with the bass tone one, because otherwise it's two bass bits at the same kind of time, which I really don't need. So I'm going to put that there, put that there, and make sure the timing's a bit tighter. There we go. Tighten the timing. Tighten that timing, because that presents itself a bit better, I think. That one's probably got a different timing on the push in and push out now. 1660 Ti is roughly twice as fast as a 1060. It's a huge improvement. It's a new generation ahead, and it's a Ti model, which Ti models always have an extra 20-30% performance, something in that range, maybe a bit less. So I'll put those two together, and it's incredibly powerful. I was going to get a laptop with a 1660 Ti, and I only ended up getting this one because it was £1,000 cheaper. That's a big difference. But yeah, I mean, for everything I do it for you. No, this laptop is just about really well compared to the old laptop. It's absolutely killing it. But for what I need it is impressive. I'm just going to put NAM coverage. Why not? Computer building. There we go. Save. So, next thing will be that Reaper tutorials is all in the wrong place. I'm going to change my tool and move this over. What? How is that possible? How is that hiding behind there? Oh, it's just a render error by the look of it, I hope. Oh, right, it's this entire video element is vector motion. Yeah, there we go. So the entire thing was. I can just reset the. There we go. Just do it manually. There we go. Oh, food smells good. I am nearly done here, ladies and gentlemen, just because I'm going to go for my tea in a couple of minutes. But once this is done, there's not going to be much left to do except render it, drag it back in, and yeah, I'll audio gear reviews. I just need to move that shape over there a little so it tucks in, so it looks neater. I'll leave live performance for a sec. Bass tone. Guitar amp comparison can probably pull this shape out a bit. There we go. There we go. NAM coverage. Yeah, it's incredible what you can do with some simple tools and a bit of having done it a few times. That Adam Steele Presents has got far too big a gap there. It looks weird. There we go. Computer bewildering. That should be a little small, but that's in the right place because it's not covering my face. That's fine. That's fine. Bass tone. How you get a good sounding fish. And gefilte fish. Maybe I should put something like occasional covers. Audio gear reviews. That shape. Oh, no. Escape. No. Go away. There we go. Recording's a bit too vague. I need to be on that tool for what I want. It's recording what? That. Need that to save, but yeah. Any more ideas, ladies and gentlemen? What should that be? It's 7-string bass. Recording tips and tricks. There we go. And then they can both move together. More like there. There we go. So, behave yourself. Okay. I think that is where we're going to leave it for now because this is still the old audio and I'm probably going to find 20 minutes later to take the audio from the project that we did earlier today. I'm going to replace that with some ridiculous Queen-esque multi-part harmony of just one note and make sure the mix is good there. But I'm going to do that off camera because I just don't have the energy tonight for a third stream in a day. And that's going to be a quick job. I'm going to add all that in here. So I may as well just quickly talk you through the rest of what I have. So when that's rendered as a video, I'm going to do 2 renders of that. One I'm going to do is a render at 1080p. And that's going to be where I'm going to put the word live on the text. I've not put live streaming on there. Nah, it's fine. There's no space for it. But yeah, literally going to add the word live there, which you can see here. The actual placeholder text was witty title text or real title. I ended up going with the real titles. But like I was watching a lot of Linus Tech Tips at the time and they just started putting silly stuff there and I thought that might be funny, but just fell into putting the actual video title in there. So I'll just put live streaming for you or something like that and render a version of that and put that here. So that's a file then that I can just add into OBS and just run it. But also I'll be doing this, and this is an essential graphic which you can't see because of the chat. Yeah, the NAM coverage spot could be live streaming. I just really, really like that shot. And to be honest with you, live streaming's great, but it doesn't look cool in the intro thing. And I suppose after a while, people just know that I do live streaming. But yeah, you drop the video in here and a couple of linear wipes. So the one linear wipe is the one that does that on the intro, and the other one at the end does the out, does that. And the reason why they're separate is... No, but then... That's not live streaming though. Maybe. Yeah, I'll think on that over dinner. But yeah, if I render this out as a video is what I was going on to say. Videos by default don't include transparency, which is a problem. So by having these linear wipes on this essential graphic, these actually wipe not to black. Black is not behind that, but it actually wipes to nothing, essentially, which means that if I drop this into a sequence over the top of the other footage, it reveals the footage behind it, which is how I've been doing the videos for the last couple of years. And then what you do with this is you make an essential graphic, so you save this as an essential graphic when you're done, and then that can be... I don't remember where that is, but I'll just have a quick Google, because I can save this then as an essential graphic in my library in Premiere. And once I've done that, there we go. Once that's done, I can save that and then drop it into any project that I like. And this becomes something that I can edit every time. Because it's a text layer in an essential graphic, I can just double click that when I drop this whole thing in, so that the audio will drop in, the video will drop in, and I get the choice of just click, change title, go. And then that's not taking me 10 minutes of rendering or messing around or anything every time I want to make a video. I just drop this in. So in my mind when I'm filming, I go, hello, I'm Adam Steele, and today we're going to talk about this. And I hold for a minute, because in my mind that the wipe comes on and the intro goes on. And then, shake it out, get ready, and then... Because I hold for a second while I wait for the linear wipe to go off. And go. And so, yeah, I might just change that. Because that's the kind of thing as well, where when we've got... When we've got more... footage of bands being live streamed in the studio, I'll be able to update this, not completely necessarily do a redo, but yeah, that's cool. And so I'm the only chat participant? That's weird. I can see you. I can see quite a few people in chat, so maybe that's just a weird bug on your side. Don't know. On live chat on premieres and that kind of thing, I've had quite a few bugs with especially watching Glenn's videos, the premieres. I try and be on the chat there, and after a little while it just kind of stops, and that's been on the iOS app as well. So yeah. I found that just refreshing the whole page, suddenly, poof, everything's there again. It's weird. But yeah, I'm glad you all came with me on this little journey. And so that's what I'm going to be doing over the next, over this evening, is finishing the song that we were doing, making sure that sounds great. I'll compare it to a couple of other songs. And make sure that's right, and just drop the audio file in here in place of this. You'll notice as well, actually, the audio file is not compressed or limited in any way, because when we're working with video, it's very rare you'll want anything to be even close to compressed. Generally speaking, I'll have all my vocal audio and that kind of stuff a good 6 dB down, so that there's loads of headroom when everything adds together, and then I'll use the mastering plugin in Premiere in a certain way that gives me a brick wall limiter and pushes things up a little without killing it. Because YouTube's very particular about bringing levels down now, so you may as well give yourself the proper headroom. So, I'm waffling on, and it smells like my food is ready. So, that is the end of today's streaming, and I'm glad you all came along with me. So, thank you, everybody. Join the Discord if you haven't already, because that's where we can carry on these conversations even when I'm not streaming, and we're building a little community together. Check out the Facebook page and Instagram and all that kind of stuff if you haven't already, and maybe check out the Patreon and throw us a couple of dollars or whatever if you feel so inclined. Don't have to, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very shortly. See you later.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out our other videos, as you can find here, or check out our Facebook and Twitter, or our Patreon page, which helps us to make more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.